Once more she sat behind loud hastening hoofs, a speed of armored squadrons, and a voice far heard of chariots bore her from her home. A ghost earth, wakened in its dumb muse, looked up at her from a vast indolence.
Mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says, what is necessary is an aspiration which burns in the being like a constant fire. And every time you have a desire, a preference, an attraction, it must be thrown into this fire. If you do this persistently, you will see that a little gleam of true consciousness begins to dawn in your ordinary consciousness. At first it will be faint, very far behind all the din of desires, preferences, attractions, likings. But you must go behind all this and find that true consciousness, all calm, tranquil, almost silent, with my blessings, says our Divine Mother. Words of our Divine Mother from the Sunlit Path. Topic: the Divine, the World and Man. Page 182. Subtopic: allow the Lord to do everything. Our Divine Mother says, now when I start looking like this, and our Divine Mother closes her eyes, two things are there at the same time. This smile, this joy, this laughter are there, and such peace, such full, luminous, total peace, in which there are no more conflicts, no more contradictions. There are no more conflicts. It is one single luminous harmony, and yet everything we call error, suffering, misery, everything is there. It eliminates nothing. It is another way of seeing. Our Divine Mother says, there can be no doubt that if you sincerely want to get out of it, it is not so difficult. After all, you have nothing to do. You only have to allow the Lord to do everything. And He does everything. He does everything. It is so wonderful. So wonderful. Our Divine Mother says, He takes anything, even what we call a very ordinary intelligence, and He simply teaches you to put this intelligence aside, to rest. There, be quiet, don't stare, don't bother me, I don't need you. Then a door opens. You don't even feel that you have to open it. It is wide open. You are taken over to the other side. All that is done by someone else, not you. And then the other way becomes impossible. All this, oh, This tremendous labor of the mind, striving to understand, toiling and giving itself headaches. It is absolutely useless, no use at all. It merely increases the confusion. Our Divine Mother says, you are faced with a so called problem. What should you say? What should you do? How should you act? There is nothing to do, nothing. You only have to say to the Lord, you only have to say to the Lord. There, you see, it is like that. That's all. And then you stay very quiet, and then quite spontaneously, without thinking about it, without reflection, without calculation, nothing, without the slightest effort, you do what has to be done. You do what has to be done. That is to say, the Lord does it. It is no longer you. He does it. He arranges the circumstances. He arranges the people. He puts the words into your mouth or your pen. He does everything. You have nothing more to do but to allow yourself to live blissfully. Our Divine Mother says, I am more and more convinced that people do not really want it. But clearing the ground is difficult, the work of clearing the ground beforehand. But you don't even need to do it. He does it for you. Question. But they're constantly breaking in the old consciousness, the old thoughts. For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, they try to come in again by habit. You only have to say, Lord, you see, it is like that. That's all. Lord, you see that, you see this fool, and it is all over immediately. And it changes automatically, my child, says our Divine Mother. It changes automatically, my child, without the slightest effort. Simply to be sincere, that is to say, to truly want everything to be right.
In that rough homestead, they gave, questioning no more the strangeness of her fate. Their pride and loved one to the great blind king, the regal pillar of fallen mightiness, and the stately care one woman once a queen, who now hoped nothing for herself from life, but all seems only hope for her one child. They parted from her with pain-fought, burdened heart, helpless against the choice of Savitri's heart. They left her to her rapture and her doom.
Our Divine Mother says, simply to be sincere, that is to say, to truly want everything to be right. You're perfectly conscious that you can do nothing about it, that you have no capacity. But there is always something that wants to do it by itself. That's the trouble. Otherwise, No, you may be full of an excellent goodwill and then you want to do it. That's what complicates everything. Or else you don't have faith. You believe that the Lord will not be able to do it and that you must do it yourself because He doesn't know. And the Divine Mother laughs. And then a Divine Mother laughs. She says, this kind of stupidity is very common. How can he see things? We live in a world of falsehood. How can he see falsehood and see? But he sees the thing as it is exactly. A Divine Mother says, I am not speaking of people of no intelligence. I am speaking of people who are intelligent and who try. There is a kind of conviction like that somewhere. Even in people who know that we live in a world of ignorance and falsehood, that there is a Lord who is all truth, they say precisely because He is all truth, He does not understand. And the Divine Mother laughs again. She says, He does not understand our falsehood. I must deal with it myself. That is very strong, very common. We make complications for nothing. Next subtopic. Let the all consciousness decide. A Divine Mother says, I am fully convinced that the confusion in the world is there to teach us how to live from day to day. That is to say, not to be preoccupied with what may happen, what will happen, just to occupy oneself day by day with doing what one has to do. All thinkings, pre plannings, arrangements, and all that are very favorably to much disorder. To live almost minute by minute, to be like that, a gesture, attentive only to the thing that is to be done at the moment, and then to let the all consciousness decide. We can never know things even with the widest vision. We can know things only very partially, very partially. So our attention is drawn this way and that way, and still other things are there. By giving great importance to things dangerous and harmful, you only add strength to them. Our Divine Mother says, when you are assailed by the vision of such disorder and confusion, all you have to do is only one thing, to enter into the consciousness where you see only one being, one consciousness, one power. There is only one single unity, and all this is taking place within this unity. And all our insignificant visions and knowledge and judgments and all that is mere nothing. It is microscopic in comparison with the consciousness presiding over all. Therefore, if one had the least sense of the reason why separate individualities existed, one would see that it was only for allowing aspiration, the existence of aspiration, of this moment of self giving and surrender, trust and faith. And it is this that is the very reason why individuals were built up, and then for you to become that in all sincerity and intensity, it is all that is needed. It is all that is needed. It is the only thing that stays. All the rest is gone, and it is the only thing in every case. When you want to do a thing, when you cannot do a thing, when you move, when the body is no more able to move, in every case, only that. To come in conscious contact with the Supreme Consciousness, to be united with it, and to wait there.
Water and kitchen. No slight task allowed to others that her woman's strength might do.
A Divine Mother says it is then that you receive the exact indication of what you ought to do at each moment, to do or not to do, to act or to be stone still, that is all. And even to be or not to be, that is the only solution. More and more, the certitude is there. This is the only solution. All the rest is more childishness, says our Divine Mother.